how to create that ultimate wing. Important step is to always start off with your eye like this. Make sure you're going into your inner corner to your outer corner and you're filling that line of your lash line. Make sure when you're in the inner corner that the line is not too big and too thick, because when you open your eye it's going to be too thick and it's going to close that gap and it's going to close your eye. So make sure it's quite small. It also depends on your eye shape, but for me, I keep it quite small because I do have a bit of gap in my eyes, but I don't have too much, so I have to make sure it's quite thin. I'm using a little brush like this and I'm going to create the wing. Now don't worry if you mess up, because I do have a tip as well for perfecting it. So what I like to do, I like to really start off my liner at this corner right here and I drag it up. A nice hack is to always look forward and then always create your line just here. If you have hooded eyes, I would go from the bottom of your lash and create it upwards. Make sure also your line isn't going too high, because then it's going to go into your actual eyelid and it's just going to look weird. So I like to go at more of an angle of your eyebrow, so you're kind of going like this. I place my brush right here and I create the line outwards like so. So you're just creating that first line. It doesn't matter if it's thick or if it's messy, just create the line. It's the most important. When you have this created, I like to go from not the very top, but from the middle part downwards to the eye to create that shape. Why I don't go from the top is because if I go down from the very top, it's going to be too thick and you don't want that. What you will need is a little flat brush like this and some setting spray. So you're gonna take your brush and your setting spray and you're gonna spray it on. Then you're taking your hand and you're cleaning your brush that it's not too wet, and then you're going back to your liner. So I'm going back to my liner here, and from the bottom you're just gonna go and just clean up any mess that you have and clean that point and that tail of the liner so it's nice and sharp. And this is the finished look.